sent in to investigate what's going on in the island, and your plane gets sucked into the Singularity.
What's the engine?
The doctor
Unreal
is
3.
waiting for you in the power station, my friend. You'll be able to get there through that pit. Go on without me. He's angry with me. But then again, he always is.
The first thing you guys will notice is that on the main character's left hand, there's something called the TMD. It stands for Time Manipulation Device. It allows Renko to move objects back and forth between 1950 and 2010. You can see it's used to solve puzzles, and it's also pretty integral in the combat. Right there, we saw an echo event. As I mentioned, Katorga 12 is a very unstable place. That is a moment that has been trapped in time and replays itself constantly. So as you can see, while Renko's main objective is to escape the island of Katorga 12, there's a lot more going on here that he needs to pay attention to. And then at the end of the day, this game is all about unraveling the mystery that created the Singularity and solving the world. And saving the world. You can see the effects of a time wave. It's come over the island and thrust the time zone back from 2010 into what we call the null zone. 1950 no longer exists in this game world, but the memories sure do. And here, Renko's actually living within the memories of 1950.
Captain Renko. My name is Dr. Viktor Borisov. I don't know how long you'll be here, so I must speak quickly. What's going on here? Where are we? There is no time. You must let me speak. Over 50 years ago, an accident occurred on this island that killed thousands. Recently, a man arrived who is about to repeat that mistake, but on a much larger scale.
Are you talking about Demichev?
Nikolai Demichev. He's a fool. You must help me stop him. Here, take this improved chronolite. Now I want you to go with Yuri. He can show you the...
Sorry. My first priority is to get off Katorga 12. My commanding officers will make sure Demichev doesn't finish his work here.
You will be too late. Millions will die, perhaps more.
Look, I wish I could help you, but I'm running out of time. So unless you can help me send an evac request or show me where my jet crashed, get out of here.
So at the end of the time wave, the player ends up back in 2010, but here he's received a bit of an upgrade to the TMD. It's called the Chronolight. Chronolight allows the player to interact with objects that are stuck in the no zone. Here you can pull a chair back from 1950. In the game, the Chronolight and the TMD work together. You can pull a lot of objects back and forth through different time states, solve puzzles, and also use them both in combat.
During the Cold War, he has been trapped in a null zone since the accident over 50 years ago. There, time is unmoving. I believe you are pulled into that dimension because you are wearing the TME. But enough talk. The doctor said I should find your plane.
Yes, there is multiplayer and single player.
Online?
Online multiplayer. Competitive. So as you can see, we have both conventional weapons like the shotgun in Singularity and things like the TMD. This is a very unique game world. Even the plant life, as you can see, has been affected by the catastrophe in 1950. Renko will face enormous challenges, but luckily he's been given some pretty good weapons. In this final section of the demo, Chris is going to encounter a bit of a shitstorm of combat. I'm going to encourage him to use whatever means he has available to show you guys about the combat in Singularity. It's really intense, and players can weaponize time. In the ankle. So there's a bit of an introduction to the combat in Singularity, and right here will show you some of the scope of what the TMD is capable. In the actual game, basically the player needs to get inside of those buildings and figure out some things that happened in the past. The first step, obviously, is to bring these things back to 1950.